These are this afternoon's top stories. Police to host press conference in Charlestown. U.S. Chancellor leads the fight against obesity, and Palestinian-Israeli violence continues. Good afternoon and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Monday, 19th October 2015. I'm Cal Berridge. In national news, later today, ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM will provide live coverage of a press conference organized by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The press conference is slated for 3 p.m. at the Charlestown Police Station. Although not confirmed, it is expected that today's press conference will address the recent shooting incident which saw 18-year-old Philo Wallace being fatally wounded, allegedly following an incident with a police officer. That incident occurred in the wee hours of Saturday morning at Enrique's Bar just outside the El Camino Willett Park. The Law and You is the theme for this year's observance of Law Week, and Ermeline Sebastian Duggins wants the entire community to be a part of the activities. She says the law affects everyone.
I think it's important because the truth is the law affects almost every aspect of our lives, whether we're conscious of it or not. For example, whether we are getting married, whether we intend to buy a home, whether we do something as simple as uploading a video or making a post on Facebook, there are legal implications. So I think it's important for the general public to be aware of these legal implications and also to sort of have the opportunity to be educated as it relates to their rights and responsibilities.
Among the activities, our Law Career Fair today, October 19th, a public lecture on October 20th in St. Kitts, 21st in Nevis, a free legal advice clinic on October 21st, and a criminal mock trial on October 22nd.
Okay. We find oftentimes when you think about attorneys, you tend to focus on criminal law.
Yes.
But we are here to show there are so many other areas. There's corporate law. There's an opportunity for people to work in the registry system of the court. We are going to even have some representation from the police force, so they're going to talk a bit about law enforcement and also prosecution from the police standpoint.
That was Chairperson of the Law Week Organizing Committee, Ermeline Sebastian Duggins. Youth are in focus this week as the Radical Praise Festival gets underway. The festival, the first of its kind, is hosting activities to cater to young Christians in the Federation. According to Chairperson of the Radical Praise Organizing Committee, Athnel Pemberton, a panel discussion will be held on Monday evening to facilitate dialogue on the evolution of music.
We'll be having a panel discussion looking at music through the ages. What has changed? How music has evolved over the years. The main focus is on St. Kitts and Nevis, and we have a wonderful panel, a broad panel of young and old. We have the likes of our very own Jazzy D, Thomas, Mick Stokes, many people know him as Ben Jacks, the Memphis Skiddas, Azim Bailey, Anthony Adams from Keon, and also Pastor Webb. We try to balance the panel.
Pemberton says the festival is an avenue to promote a positive image of young Christians.
It's a positive event. I'm not saying that other events are not positive, but we want to sort of change the culture of how people look at young Christians or how people look at Christianity. I would just like to, appeal to young people to come and, support us.
The three-pronged festival started on Saturday with a rally and wraps up on October 24th with a concert featuring Trinidadian musician Positive. Regionally, UWI Chancellor Sir George Alleyne wants the Cave Hill campus to get more involved in efforts to curb child obesity.
Sir George made the appeal in his address to the campus's graduation ceremony at the Garfield Sobers Sports Complex on Saturday. He congratulated government for imposing an added tax on sweetened drinks, but he says finding a response to this health crisis is a job for the university.
This goes beyond the province of the Faculty of Medical Sciences. The university in its role as a part of civil society must join in presenting data which allow accountability for the commitments made in various fora for addressing this problem.
A new Chief Magistrate has been confirmed for Guyana. Ivor Wharton reports.
Magistrate Anne McLennan has been confirmed in the position of Chief Magistrate. The swearing-in ceremony took place on Thursday before Acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Carl Singh. The retired Army Colonel has been acting in the post of Chief Magistrate since the former holder of that post, Justice Priya Sunarayan Behari, was sworn in as a judge. It should be noted that Chief Magistrate McLennan has followed in the footsteps of her father, George McLennan, who himself was once Chief Magistrate. A release from the Judicial Services Commission said that Chief Magistrate McLennan joined the magistracy in 2007, and during that period she presided over various courts in the country. It also stated that she completed her Bachelor's of Law degree at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, Barbados, then went on to complete her legal education certificate at the Ewing Law School in Trinidad and Tobago in 1996. Meanwhile, the Commission stated that it will be announcing a number of promotions within the magistracy.
And internationally, an Israeli soldier has been killed in a gun and knife attack at a bus station in Beersheba.
A lone gunman, thought to be Palestinian, opened fire, killing an Israeli soldier and wounding 11 other people at a bus station in southern Israel on Sunday. Israeli media says security forces shot dead the attacker in a protracted gun battle, but also shot a second man by mistake who later died in hospital. Several of the wounded are in a critical condition. Do I need to live in a world where I'm afraid to leave home, asks this woman, where I'm afraid to go to my college studies, to work or to go shopping? Everything is frightening and I want the police to take more action and increase their security presence. Responding to the upsurge in violence, the Israeli cabinet has announced a whole raft of new security measures, including the building of a concrete barrier in East Jerusalem. This Jerusalem resident says the best way to describe this is as an apartheid wall. We've already got one between us and the West Bank, but today we've got an apartheid wall in Jerusalem. On Sunday there were more clashes between Palestinians and Israeli security forces in Ramallah. 42 Palestinians and 8 Israelis have died in the recent violence, which was in part triggered by Palestinian anger over what they see as increased Jewish encroachment on Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque compound.
Tens of thousands of South African miners are trying to gain legal approval to pursue a class action case against the gold industry. The miners say they developed lung disease while working underground. They now want compensation.
The hill behind Billy Damane is a mine dump, the waste from a gold mine he used to work in. He feels as if he's a byproduct now too. He says during his 27 years gold mining, he breathed in too much silica dust and developed silicosis and tuberculosis. In 1999, he was declared too sick for work and was laid off with a little compensation.
They were just want our hands, our powers there. And then the man, they didn't want to give us the money. They give us the change.
Damane is one of thousands of former gold miners trying to launch a mass class action against their former employers. It could be the biggest lawsuit of its kind in Africa.
It's taken years to get to this point. Now the miners are finally having their time in court, but they may not find out if they've been successful until next year.
If they fail to have the class action recognised, smaller groups of miners would have to fight for compensation individually. The gold industry says it does recognise it's responsible and it wants to establish some form of compensation fund, but it's opposing a class action which could create hundreds of thousands of potential claimants.
The companies are not acknowledging negligence. However, as I said previously, they do recognise it as an issue on which there are a range of actions need to be taken to find a comprehensive solution that will lead to a fair outcome for employees, but also an outcome that is sustainable for the industry.
It's too late for Adelina Kalele, who still has her husband's medical records.
So this is the first time silicosis is mentioned in 1986, and it says he's been...
He died 2 years ago.
It's painful because we lost people that we care about, but there's nothing we can do about that.
She says no amount of money will make her happy again, but like thousands of other families, it would make life easier. Tanya Page, Al Jazeera, South Africa.
Taking a look at the weather, skies today will be partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with scattered showers. Tonight, conditions will be partly cloudy with brief showers. Winds are calm with temperatures reaching a high of 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunset this evening is expected at 5:47 p.m., while sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:05 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Barrage.